A team exploring Oak Island discovers a dense wooden bone, hinting at a deeper mystery related to human remains buried within the muddy swamp. This discovery raises questions about past secrets kept within the island, leading the team to uncover more clues suggesting an unfinished story involving potentially tragic events. The team finds an unusual, empty vault and evidence of human activity in the swamp. Iron spikes, chisels, and worn leather boots, signaling that someone had been there before. They connect these discoveries to grave sites from the mid-19th century, proposing the intriguing idea that the original discoverer, Anthony Graves, might have stumbled upon a hidden vault containing valuables, but chose to remain silent about it. As excitement builds within the team regarding the potential for more vaults, they begin to trace a mysterious, rocky path that seems to weave through the swamp, unveiling hidden markings and signs of human intervention. With every dig, they hope to uncover more of this buried past, but each step through the muck reveals the complexities of history buried beneath the land. Amidst the discoveries, new evidence emerges, a human skull fragment, signaling an elaborate history filled with secrets and conflicts rather than mere treasure hunting. Uniquely, the remains imply connections between cultures thousands of miles apart, bringing forth theories of everything from Templar pursuits to potential ancient rituals. As the team evaluates their finds, they recognize the possibility that Oak Island was once a meeting ground for diverse cultures. The presence of both European and Middle Eastern skeletal remains prompts questions about the island's role in historical travels. Potentially revealing leads to insights about buried motives that have waited long enough, showcasing things that remained hidden throughout years of searching. This narrative hints that individuals who attempted to control hidden knowledge paid a substantial price, intimating they faced brutal fates, participates in ancient rites, or paid for their past in ways unimagined. The compelling complexities showcase that Oak Island encapsulates far more than treasure. It embodies a timeless pursuit containing secrets not just for those brave enough to search, but ultimately holding warnings for those who dare pry into ghostly commitment. Every inch traveled becomes emblematic, linking the present day to endeavors that once cast shadows along your search's path. As the realization crescendos among the members with each discovery, the element of understanding solidifies among the group, drawing a haunting attachment towards the weight such bones bear. A reminder entwined in tender nostalgia for lives lost pursuing something significant, albeit in vain. The Oak Island team's encounter with unexpected human remains catapults their focus from pure treasure hunting centrality into grappling with the unsolved connections that guide their realizations. Since the beginning of their expedition, the island has posed questions intertwining exploration with confrontation, urging them to pursue past gems buried in the muck, leading them to examine their motivations, uncertainties, and feelings regarding their responsibility towards the complex histories hidden within. In a way, something bigger than any individual piece is formed, creating collective curiosity entwined with authentic spirits, tales transcending dependent on skeletal remains and objects of the past, echoing under the weight of unresolved consequences left behind. With each new artifact builds interest, not solely for its age or perceived value, but as a way of honoring forgotten paths of those lost eternally connected within tales of blood-soaked earth unmarred by lucrative aspirations. The mystery of Oak Island has long enthralled treasure hunters, especially the Lagena brothers, Rick and Marty, whose adventure began with a 1965 Reader's Digest article. Their quest, documented by the History Channel in The Curse of Oak Island, is marked by the discovery of various artifacts, including a lead cross linked to the Knights Templar, indicating a complex history on the island. As they mine the infamous Money Pit, their journey is rife with danger and uncertainty. It resembles a real-life Bermuda Triangle, where even advanced technologies like ground-penetrating radar cannot guarantee success. With every deeper excavation, not only does the ground become unstable, but the significant emotional toll on Rick becomes increasingly apparent. He grapples with cycles of optimism and despair, reflecting the profound psychological strain of a pursuit that tests personal relationships and well-being. These themes are emphasized in Season 12, which demonstrates how the experiences of searching for treasure are intertwined with profound emotional issues. The fact that Rick has invested his own resources and relationships into their expedition gives it more weight, particularly in light of the terrifying tale that states 7 lives must be lost before any wealth can be discovered. The tragic history of the island has already cost the lives of 6 people, which is a tragic turn of events. The most recent discoveries have provided hints of more sinister storylines, implying that historical rites were interwoven with the possibility of human sacrifice. Following the discovery of artifacts that provide evidence of ancient rituals, the brothers are forced to reevaluate the reasons that led them to investigate the possibility of treasure. Every new discovery, whether it be Spanish money or hypothetical buildings resembling vaults, adds another layer of intrigue to the mystery, making it difficult to differentiate between the pursuit of treasure and the comprehension of a historical tragedy. Rick and Marty continue to be resolute in their pursuit of knowledge while being caught in the complicated legacy of the island. The harsh environment of the island, on the other hand, persistently undermines their goals and objectives, resulting in a conflict that is both emotional and physical. As they continue to delve deeper into the marsh and come across structures that are connected to enigmatic rituals, their journey starts to change into a quest to learn the darker realities that the island has to offer. The spectator is left wondering whether they will find riches or face consequences that they did not anticipate as a result of the suspense that their quest continues to generate. It's not the case that Lucido's absence following the CEO transfer indicates that she has lost her influence inside ROC. Instead, it marked the beginning of her transition into a role in which she redefined her effect, despite being removed from the spotlight. Her impact was felt through the strategic decisions that drove ROC's procedures and operations, despite the fact that she was displayed less prominently on television. In spite of the fact that Lucido switched her focus by assuming the post of head of industry relations, she maintained a substantial amount of influence over the direction and visibility of ROC in a sector that is infamous for its shadowy dealings behind the scenes. This new position gave her the opportunity to continue altering perceptions inside the business, while also allowing her to enjoy a more substantial work-life balance. A deliberate move to maintain influence while focusing attention towards strategic connections and brand positioning for ROC itself. The decision to take a step back did not indicate disengagement, but rather represented a calculated move to remain influential. ROC did not experience a downturn as a result of her retreat from the direct limelight. Rather, the machinery continued to play an important role in key projects and developments in the area. The operational stability of ROC was maintained even while the machinery continued to buzz on site, which resulted in the reinforcement of the reputation that Lucido had painstakingly constructed. She maintained a legacy of performance and integrity with regard to the machinery and business processes that had been created by her predecessors, and she was responsible for fostering a culture of creativity and accountability that continued to exist even after she had left the company. Discussions of ROC after Lucido grew interwoven with impressions of Robinson's leadership style, which was described as stable and dependable, but lacked the spark that was associated with her direct involvement. As a result, some individuals criticized the gentleness of his approach in comparison to her dynamic energy. As rumors continued to circulate regarding Lucido's departure, the changes that were taking place within ROC mirrored broader industry developments in which visibility and market positioning were just as important as the technical specs of the technology that was being utilized. This dynamic brought to light the continual balancing act that exists between performance and perception, driving home the fact that successful operations required complex tactics that went beyond surface-level engagement with machinery and extended deeper into financial and corporate management. Lucido's influence was still there in the apparatus and procedures that ROC enforced, demonstrating her skill in modifying conventional drilling techniques while simultaneously incorporating broader narratives of treasure hunting into the operational framework of ROC. Her dual identity as a crucial industrial leader and a central player in the Oak Island drama was supported by this combination of engineering precision and spectacle, which highlighted her dual personality. Her studies in particular discovered insights about the fundamental economics that drive the narrative of treasure hunting. She emphasized that financial transactions that were adjacent to industrial demands were the foundation of every activity in a manner that was strikingly different from folklore. As a result of these realizations, opinions regarding the concept of treasure seeking were transformed. Treasure hunting was framed within a modern business framework that was filled with intricacies, which were frequently eclipsed by stories of ancient mysteries ranging around pirate money. Furthermore, Lucido's decision to switch from a highly visible leadership post to one that was more deeply rooted in business relations, made it clear that he had a good awareness of the transformations that are occurring in the sector. The ability to navigate an industry in which beauty is frequently prioritized provided her with the opportunity to firmly establish her legacy while also enabling ROC to keep its presence in a terrain that is currently undergoing fast change. Since this is the case, her story becomes more complicated. It is no longer only about her leadership presence. Rather, it is also about maintaining her influence and tactically shifting to multiple jobs while simultaneously bolstering the exacting reputation of ROC. In general, despite the fact that fans speculated about Lucido's unexpected departure and evaluated her contributions, her legacy continues to be about a great deal more than the whims of viewers or the superficial narratives that are manufactured by the entertainment business. It is a tale that has been refined in the midst of the cacophony and complexity of television and corporate goals, and it symbolizes the struggles and victories that women have experienced in traditionally male-dominated fields. Despite the fact that the cameras have stopped rolling and the dust has settled from the relentless drilling activity of the gear, Lucido's enthusiasm, ingenuity, and tenacity continue to be a vital part of ROC Equipment's character. This is true even as the company continues to go forward with large drilling projects. An example of how long-lasting forces of change address the junction of personal ambition and industry standards is provided by the Oak Island tale, which ultimately brings together the interconnected narratives of reality television, business, and legacy. As a result, Vanessa Lucido's path encapsulates a more comprehensive narrative of endurance, adaptation, and empowerment. It gently challenges the rhetoric around women in leadership roles, while also bridging the gap between the visible and invisible forces that exist within the drilling business. Tunnel digging, as hiding something underground would require masking the mess. Charles and Brandon were drilling in the money pit when they encountered an 11-foot rock that could be a door to the past. Emma Culligan, the gold detector, found a solid chunk in the middle of the shaft, suggesting that someone used gold-lined wood when building the shaft. This led to more tests, speculation, and theories about the depth of the treasure. The team was planning to dig deeper into the well, hoping the trail wouldn't go cold. They were also heating up their war room across the island, where Tom Nolan opened his dad's old notebook, which contained a hidden well. The well was intentionally hidden, buried, covered up, and Rick and Alex wasted no time digging on the lot. The story highlights the importance of careful planning and investigation in uncovering hidden treasures and mysteries. The story revolves around a team of people who are digging a hidden underground well in a swampy area. They discover a hidden well with a rosehead spike, an old-school artifact, and a hook, which they believe is part of a larger machine. The well starts to resemble the one on Lot 26, with the same structure and stacked stones. The island is not just dropping hints, but also shouting two wells at opposite ends of the island, with craftsmanship, secrecy, and buried intentions. The swamp looms nearby, reminding them that every dig comes with risk, including ecological and political ones. In the official nerve center, the interpretive center, Emma Culligan works her magic by scanning wood from the garden shaft, finding gold. The deeper they go, the more gold shows up, and the deeper they dig, the clearer it seems that someone was there before a tunnel, shaft, and road to the 1500s. Craig Tester, running the show picture, is with the Duma drilling team, currently at 68 feet down and going for 80. Their goal is to waterproof the levels while they get clean samples and try to hit a jackpot. They find gold in the wood, a tunnel, and gold traces from the treasure zone nearby. The garden shaft becomes the center of something, and Paul Coate from the drilling team has a system of 12 holes strategically placed around the shaft. The goal is not just to find treasure, but to prove the setup is part of a larger machine, and the only way to learn is to pull the ropes. Tom Nolan's father, Tom Nolan, believed something was going on Oak Island, a forgotten stretch of dirt. As they dig in Lot 13, they find strange burn sticks, weird clay, and charred bits that look like someone set up a barbecue centuries ago. They think this stuff is out of place and that someone brought it or hid something under it. The team finds the same design in Portugal, which is nearly identical, built with the same stone-laying technique known to have been used by the Portuguese during the 1400s and 1500s. This little coincidence, not so much anymore. Theories start stacking up: burned wood, odd-shaped formations, gold, trace stone roads, strange clay, all pointing to something buried not just in the ground, but in history. Rick thinks it's not just a structure, but a hand-built secret burial-type vault, covered in blue clay to keep water out and buried under boulders like a medieval safe. Dr. Ian Spooner steps in to test these theories, and when he pulls up clay fused to charred wood, it pauses. That's not natural. It's someone hiding something. The soil is too thick, rich, and tampered for this area. It's not just a spot, it's a piece of land manipulated to hide, protect, and seal something in. The team calls up researchers across Europe, particularly one from the Azores named Francisco Nguira. He has files, ideas, and deep knowledge about Portuguese maritime history, dropping a bombshell that rewrites maps the Order of Christ, aka the rebranded Portuguese. Knights Templar was active in the Azores, and possibly stashed valuables during the chaos of the 1500s. The next day, the team heads back to Lot 13 with fresh drills and dirty fingernails, pulling up more of that blue clay and charred wood. The big surprise is a stone wall so neatly and oddly built it looks intentional, dating sometime between 1464 and 1638. This type of wall would normally divide farmland, but farmland doesn't explain blue clay or burned wood. Rick thinks it's infrastructure, not fields, but features not for crops or protection. They pull out more maps, names, dates, and dates from the Inquisition, religious groups, wealth seizure, and anyone with a stash of gold. They're whispering the same thing. Something was buried here. It wasn't an accident, it was designed, and it might just be waiting. They're not done yet, but they've got more samples to analyze, more ground to dig, and more experts to call.